Here's the story of how God blew up an aircraft carrier to get my attention. On January 14, 1969, I was a U.S. Navy photographer assigned to the flight deck of the aircraft carrier USS Enterprise. At 8:18 a.m., the flight deck erupted in explosions and fire which burned for 4 grueling hours. 15 aircraft destroyed, 28 sailors dead, 314 injured. I was 21 years old at the time and a hardened atheist, disdainful of Christians in the extreme. But as I watched men being literally blown to bits, for some reason I instinctively whispered a prayer. God, whose name I do not know, if I survive this, I will seek you. I was just giving God the benefit of the doubt, confronting my own mortality, no atheist in foxholes and all. But at that very instant, God answered. I heard an audible voice above the explosion saying 3 words. I am here. Over the next 5 years, I kept my promise. I knew for certain that God was not to be found in Christianity. I had read Genesis and Exodus and deemed it a bloody and authoritarian cult. So I began my quest with Hinduism, but that didn't last long. I wasn't very good at that karma stuff. I knew myself better than to think I could rack up brownie points with the cosmos. Next stop was Buddhism, but I ran into the same wall there. Why did these monks think I could earn my way to nirvana? It seemed so phony. Didn't they know who I really was? No amount of karma or chanting mantras or religious exercise was going to be enough. Over the next few years there were others, but they all had the same thing in common, building your own stairway to heaven. Then one day I met a young man who had just kicked heroin cold turkey, and he wouldn't shut up about Jesus. After weeks of harassment, I finally relented and prayed with him. I didn't mean a word of it, but I thought it would get him off my back. To my surprise, 2 weeks later, I had an uncontrollable urge to pick up a Bible. But this time, instead of Genesis or Exodus, for some reason I opened the book of Romans. By the time I got halfway through chapter 6, I was on my knees. What I had discovered in those 5 years of spiritual wandering was that every belief system on the planet, including humanism, depends to one degree or another upon human performance. All but one, that is. Let's be clear. If you can in any way affect your own salvation, then you are setting yourself up as a god, and that is the original lie. That's what got us into this mess in the first place.